Okay, I just finished this row going up my chart. I finished off at the square that's next to where the 20 says 27 on the chart, okay? And I also did a tail check. So if you haven't done a tail check, which means to weave in your ends, then go ahead and pause the video and do that, and then come back and meet me. But well, because I was saying to do that because we just finished the L, the second L, okay? And so you can cut off the red that's connected here and here because you're done with the letter. And so you'll have several ends to weave in. And so go ahead and pause the video and weave in your ends and get caught up, because that way at the end you won't have that many to weave in. Okay. Okay, so now we're ready to go on with our chart. Okay, so we finished the square that's next to the 27 on the chart. Okay, and now we're going to, as always, we're going to turn the corner and then we're going to go back down the chart in the serpentine fashion, just like we've been doing. And so for this one, we're going to need one yellow and one red, and then we're going to finish up the whole entire row with yellow to get down to this side. And that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yellows. Okay, it's just like when we finished off between these two letters. It's the same count, the square count. Okay, so since we are still going up on this side of the chart, we need to do our chain 6 to create our block up at the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, and then double crochet in the next chain, and then double crochet in the next chain. Okay, now we're going to turn our work so we can, if you have the bobbins, you can go ahead and clip the bobbins to your work. We just have 3 at the moment, but we're just about to add in the first red one for our letter A. Okay, so flip our work over and then unhook our bobbins so they'll be in the right place that we need them. Okay, that one got twisted there. Okay. Okay, now we did our first one and we're looking on our chart and we see that we only need one of this yellow one. So now we need to join in one of our reds again. Okay, so we need to connect those two squares together with a slip stitch. We're going to insert our hook, but we are not going to do the slip stitch with the yellow since we have to add in another red. I've got loose tail stuck to it there. Okay. So, and we're just going to do one red square, join just like we have been doing with a slip stitch, pulling from the back, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do our first red square. So it's 3 double crochets. Okay, and then now we have to go on to our yellow, and as you see, I'm not on the screen here, sorry. Okay, so I marked out the red one I just did. Now we need to do 8 yellow ones, and it'll get us down to that edge. Okay, so like as before, our yellow is right here, and we need it down here. Well, actually we're going to join here, right? So we need it down here. So like I showed you before, we can, instead of cutting this and then reattaching it, we can go ahead and just kind of put our yarn across that side and kind of hold it, because we know that that slack needs to be across there, and then go down the little stair step, kind of trace the way where we're going, so that way we know kind of when we need to join. And that's where we pull our yarn through. So then we will have enough yarn right there along that step here to work over. Okay, so now we're going to just pull up our red just a little bit back there to tighten it up, and then go ahead and continue on with our yellow. So 1, 2, 3, and then remember we want to work over this loose piece there. So 3 double crochets. And if you're not comfortable doing that, you don't have to. You can just cut the yarn, cut it, and then just move it and connect it again where you need the yellow. That's fine. Okay, so I slip stitch to connect it. Now I need to make my next block, and I'm still working over that little yellow piece there. Need more yarn there. Okay, so 3 double crochets to make our square. Okay, so there I've done 2 of the yellows. Okay, so I need to connect to here, and now I need to do 6 more all the way across. And as you see, this one right here is from our other one, but this yarn right here is going to go all the way across there. So you can go ahead and cut this off now, because you can carry on with this one that's going across. But if you see my yarn here, I only have a little bit left on my bobbin, and so I may not make it all the way across with that bobbin. So I'm just going to leave that there for right now, because see, I have more on that one. So I'm going to just leave it there and see how far this right here takes me. So we need 6 more. We've done 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not 4, 5. Oh my goodness. Chain 3, 1 double crochet, and then 2 second double crochet, and then 3rd double crochet. Okay. So there's our 3rd one. Remember, we need 8 altogether. That's 3. You need 5 more. 1, 2, 3. And what you're doing is just following up the stair steps until you get all the way to the other edge. So, whoops. Okay, there's 4 of our 8. One, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. That will make number 5. Okay, yeah, I'm going to run out. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is number 6. Okay, now I'm connecting to this one to make my 7th one, and as you see, I've only got this much left. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this one that's already connected from our previous row, and I'm just going to continue on with that one. And then this yellow here, I'm just going to weave in that tail. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. And then 1 more. And then connect with a slip stitch. Okay, so we have 1 yellow, 1 red, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 yellows. Okay, so we go back to our chart, and then we mark off what we did. 1 yellow, 1 red, and then we have 8 yellow, which takes us all the way over to the other edge. Okay, and as you see, we're working up that edge, so we're just going to do a chain 1, turn our work, and slip stitch across the edge to get us in the position to start this next row right here next to the number 11 on our chart. See that? Okay, and then we're going to go up and just keep going serpentine fashion, and then I will meet you back when you get ready. Let's see, when you finish the square that's next to the 14 on the chart, when you finish this one, you'll be coming down this direction, and I'll meet you up there. Okay, Okay, so I just finished coming down my chart here, and I finished with the square that is next to the number 14 on the chart. Okay, so now we're going to turn the corner and we're going to go back up. So when the last, just to check, the last row that we did, we should have had 1 yellow, 2 reds, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yellows. Okay, now this time we turn the corner, going back up this way, we're going to have 1, 2, 3 yellows, 1 red, and then you add in another yellow to make these 2, and then 3 reds, and then 1 yellow. Okay, so I ran out of yellow on my bobbin, and so I went ahead and made another one up. So it's good to have at least 3 of the background bobbins ready. Okay, so what I did is I actually have 3 of these, and I threw 3 of the letter colors, these bobbins also. Okay, so let's start. So we need 1, 2, 3 yellows. Okay, so remember, we are not increasing on this side, we're just slip stitching across the edge to make our way up. Yes, okay, so I slip stitched, now I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to turn my work. Okay, so I could have clipped the bobbins to my work, but right now I just have the 3 bobbins, so I just turned them and straightened them out. Okay, so now I'm slip stitching up that edge. 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. Okay, that gets us in the position to start going up our side here. Okay, so we need 3 yellows. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets, and that will give us our first square. Okay, and then slip stitch to this one, and then make our second square. Okay, there's our second square. Slip stitch to this one. Make our third square. One more. Okay, get ready to slip stitch, but we have to add in, as you can see right there, we have to add in a red one now. So we did this one, 1, 2, 3, we did those 3, and now we have to make this one red one here. Add it in just like we have been when we have to add colors. Slip stitch, tighten up the yellow one, and then keep going with the red. Chain 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's this one right here. One right there. Now see, now we need 2 yellows again, and our yellow, this yellow needs to stay there because we're working on this edge. This yellow needs to stay over there, so we need to add in our another yellow, the third yellow, to get to work just these parts that are in the middle there. So we'll do a few, and then you cut it and kind of move it and like that. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch into that square. We're going to add in this yellow with a slip stitch and make a square. 1, 2, 3. Always chain 3, of course, at the beginning of your square. Okay, and then let's see how many we need to make. We need to make 2 right there, 1 and 2. So continuing on with that yellow. Okay, now we've done those 2 yellows. Now we need to do 1, 2, 3 reds. So now we pick up this red that was there already, and we're going to make 3 red squares. Okay, there's one. There's two. There's three. Okay, then we drop that one, and we look on our chart. We just did these three reds, 1, 2, 3, and then we need one yellow up there at the top. So we take this yellow, and remember we need to put it between these two squares to the back, and then we're going to slip stitch and bring it through the loop from back to front, and then make the chain 3 and 3 double crochets. That's our last square for that on that row there. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, so now let's continue on, and we're going to go up and turn the corner and come back down. So now we need 2 yellows right there, and like I said before, on this edge is still climbing, so we need to do the chain 6 and then double crochet down the chain to create another square on the top for our first square of that row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our 6. Double crochet in 4th chain from hook, and then double crochet in the next chain, and double crochet from the next chain. Okay, and then we look at it. I'm looking at my chart right quick. I see we need 2 yellow ones. Okay, so I need to flip this up because I need to turn my work. So turn my work. Well, since we have so many bobbins, let's do it the proper way. Okay, so we're going to clip our bobbins to the work. And I'll just hold on to that one. And now we're going to flip our work over. Okay, and unhook the bobbins. Get that square twisted in the right direction here. Okay, so now we need one more yellow. So we slip stitch to that square next to it, and then make 1 chain of 3, and then 3 double crochet, and that will be our second yellow one for that row. And then we'll change back to the red. So let's mark that out. We did these 2 yellow ones, okay, and now we need 1 red one this time. My work is sliding again. I will get a better background cloth as soon as I can. Okay. Okay, so I mean, this one was working good, I think. I like the dark background. You can give me your opinion, comment below if the dark background looks good. I think it works well, shows up the yarn. It's just the fact that this is a polyester, and so it likes to slide. Okay, continuing on, I need to do 1 red. So connect it and then make my square. So chain 3, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then insert my hook to connect it, drop my red, and for the yellow, let me mark my red one here. It is right there. And then I need to do 1 yellow. Okay, but okay, so this one has red, and then it has 1 yellow, and then back to red again. So let me look at my yarn here, because then I have to go back to yellow again for 1 square right there. Okay, so I have this one here, but it really needs to stay there because that's where I need to work another square, but just 1 square's worth, see? And so I need to connect another one to get that yellow one right there, but right at the moment I don't have another yellow bobbin made up, so I also can do, since this yarn only needs I only need one square, and then I'm going to cut it, right? Because this one in the middle, see there's only one square there, and when I do that one, then I'm going to cut that yarn. So what I could do is I could pull out some where, this is just guessing, where I think I have enough to make a square. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut it and use that same bobbin. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to move it and use it over here because I need it over there to make to start the open spot at the top of the A, or whatever, this little window, that little window. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I need to pick up my red, or I need a red, and I don't have one in the spot I need, so I'll just get another bobbin and add it on. With a slip stitch, chain 3, and then make my red square. This is the bridge part that goes across the A. Okay, now I'm going to pick up this length of yarn that I pulled out, hoping that this is enough, playing yarn chicken here, I guess, to see if I have enough to make a square, which I hope I will. That would work out just perfect, wouldn't it? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet 3 times. 1, 2, I got it. 3, yep. And then connect, and see, now this is just going to be something I'm going to cut off, but I will use it. If I don't use it here, I will use this scrap in my magic yarn ball that I'm making with my scrap yarns. Okay, so now we need to pick this red up. Let's see on our chart what we did here. We did 1 yellow, and then we did 1 red, and then we did this yellow, and see how we're done with that yellow right there, okay? And now we need to pick up the red and do 2 reds right there, and that red is already here. See this? Wait, it's not that one, it's this one. Okay, so let's do 2 of those. 1, 2, 3. Sorry if you heard me sigh, I'm hot. Sorry. Okay, and then the second rib one here. I just thought, oh, I bet that was audible on my microphone here. Whoops. Okay, now we're going to connect with this one, and we're going to finish off the row, oops, on our chart, because we did these 2 reds right there. Now we got to do 2 yellows, and we'll be to the other end, the other side. Slip stitch. And then 3 double crochets. Whoops, lost my hook. Start again. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then 1 more. Okay. Now we slip stitch to join it, and we look at our chart. So we did these 2 right there. Now we're going to turn the corner. We're going to go up, go this direction, right? And we're going to go up this way, okay? So now I do have quite a few bobbins here. I'll go ahead and get you turned around. This yarn tail is so long, I only need it just to weave in, so I'm going to trim it to get that excess out of the way. I don't know if you saw that. It might have been off camera. I'm sorry if it was. I just clipped this one a little bit shorter, that's all. Okay, so let's see. We have a lot of bobbins, but it won't but just be a couple of rows or whatever, and then you'll be clipping some of them, so you know how that goes. Okay. Pull this up here. Okay. So we have all these, so let's go ahead and, since we have so many of them, let's go ahead and clip our work. Well, first, let's go ahead and get this turned. So I slip stitch to that square, chain 1, and then turn. And like I did on the owl square. I'm just going to turn it over just a little bit here to get up that edge, and then I'll turn the rest of the whole work. So slip stitch up this edge, 1, 2, 3, and then into the chain 3 space. Whoop, come on, slip stitch, there you go. And then into the chain 3 space. Okay, and then champ 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're ready to start. So now I'm going to go ahead and clip my yarns just wherever, just so they're attached to the work. I hope working with all these bobbins, I hope this doesn't deter you from doing a graph gown, because it may seem kind of difficult, or not difficult, but just kind of like chaos because of all this. But really, when your finished project is worth it, or at least I think so. Okay, got it all clipped, flipping it all over. Just get them out flat like that, and then unclip them. See? Of course, that's a tail to weave in, and this is a tail. This is a tail. Okay, see that? Okay, so you see, now we have flipped our work, and we're ready now to go up this row. So we look at our paper, and we need to do, on this row, we're going to do 2 yellows, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3 reds, and then we're going, so it looks to me like when you get up there, you're going to cut one of these extra reds because they're going to be joined together. So 3 reds, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 yellows, and then 1 red, and then 2 yellows, and so continue on, and I will meet back up with you when you finish the square next to the 37 up here. That gives you a few more, 3 rows to do. And when you get up to this square that's next to the 37, when you finish that one, we're going to turn the corner and go this way. I will meet you up there, okay?